Hey guys, so I just want to hop in really quick and to say I apologize for the audio in this episode. My mic was really bugging and my audio sounds absolutely horrible. The episode is really good though, so we decided not to scrap it completely, but my audio does sound a lot different than it normally does. So again, I do apologize for that, but nevertheless, this episode is a banger and I hope you guys enjoy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Third Thoughts, our official second episode. If you've been here before or if you haven't been here before, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate the support. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. We're gonna start off. First thing is we got the new more info on What If. So I want to ask Aryan, and it's getting close to the release date. So I want to ask Aryan, what is his expectations for the next Marvel show, What If?
Yeah, so honestly, for What If, like I'm super excited, but I wasn't that excited before because I just felt like, honestly, I felt like it was just gonna be like a throwaway project. Like I think we both thought that, bro. Like I felt like it was gonna be like throwaway projects. But it feels like from like the early reactions, and I talked to people that have already seen the show, and like people are saying it's insane. Like people are saying that this second and third episode are insane. So my expectations have gone up. I don't have anything specific, I guess. Like I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll probably the biggest expectation is I wanted to connect to the bigger picture. That's kind of it though. Like other than that, I don't really have anything that I'm really looking forward to. What about you though?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely thought initially it was gonna be a very just kind of small, kind of just fun project. Marvel kind of just dipping their toe in animation a little bit, just doing some fun things. But as we got more information, it's like this really is gonna have kind of a more of a heavy impact on the MCU, and we'll be referencing things like that down the line. And I know, as you mentioned, possibly maybe these characters will transition from animation to live action. I know you really want to get into that. So yeah, I think that this show is definitely kind of more than meets the eye. I think as we get into it and the episodes drop, I think that they're going to probably a bit crazier than we might expect. And might have more lasting effects on the MCU. So I think this is going to be another kind of just. My excitement for shows almost equal to the live action shows. Honestly, as we get more information about it. So
yeah.
I'm pretty
as
excited.
As we learn more, I'm getting more excited just because I feel like there's not as much I feel like there's not going to be as much of a gap within the animated shows and live action shows. We also know they're building an entire a whole production team or a whole different company for animated stuff, which is going to be absolutely awesome. I think the level of the animation is going to go up so high in the future, and I'm so excited to see where they go from here. Theories wise, really, what do you think is going to happen? Because you know me, I think they're going to come to live action eventually. But what do you think of that theory? I guess.
Yeah, I can definitely see it happening. Of course, we've seen rumors, things like that. And of course, you have the post Guardians of the Multiverse, things like that. So I could see definitely Captain Carter, all that stuff kind of coming into live action at a certain point. We have the rumor right now that they might be in Multiverse of Madness for a little bit. So I mean, that would be pretty cool. And I know in the comics, from I understand, there is a team of people that kind of protect the multiverse and stuff like that. So that could be the MCU's kind of stand-in for that team. I can't think of their name right now, but yeah. So I can see it happening. I think that it would be pretty cool to see them go from live action to animation. I mean, from animation to live action, I think that would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, bro. Have you seen? I think it's called Enchanted. It's like that princess movie
Yeah.
where they go through that gutter, bro. That would be so sick. I honestly think Marvel could really pull that off, and it's a Disney movie too, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Marvel could really pull that off. I think theories wise, I think 100% they're going to come into live action, especially Multiverse of Madness, just because we already know, literally, Sam Raimi said, and even Kevin Feige said, they're just going to be exploring different universes. So even if it's a little peek into a universe where Doctor Strange sees Peggy Carter as Captain Britain, I think she's going to be called, that's going to be insane. I would love to see that. Personally, I've been riding on this theory since the very beginning. Honestly, I think that trailer, the first trailer that we got with seeing her and Strange together, and then seeing Strange alone in shots, seeing Peggy in shots, I think that'll be the main I get not timeline, but story going on in What If. Because for example, like we mentioned, we talked about this last night, bro. But I don't think we're gonna see the Chadwick Boseman being like Black Panther being in the Guardians. That story's not going anywhere. Let's be honest. But there's other stories like the Captain Peggy Carter one. She is gonna be a big part, in my opinion. And also, we have multiple seasons of What If. Remember, they said this show and Loki are the only ones right now that are confirmed to have multiple seasons, so they can do so much. Even if they just bring it in a little bit, they can make this show so huge, especially if it does transfer into live action. Overall, I'm pretty hyped for What If. Do you have any last expectations, I guess, right before getting into it? What do you think what do you think not will happen in the show, but what are you expecting, I guess, story-wise?
Story, I'm expecting kind of this good, like, self-contained stories. You know, we've already got some early, like, reviews. People saying episode 3 is, like, insane. And people are suspecting that's the Ultron one involving Black Widow.
Yes.
So I think that could be pretty interesting to see. And I mean, it sucks, bro, because what if it's good and, like, with this whole Scarlet Johansson and Marvel thing, we don't even, like, they might want to bring her back or something. Maybe, like, if they bring, like, that version of Black Widow into a different project.
Well,
but,
on a technical level, they can still bring her back. She just doesn't voice them because, like, Tom Holland's not voicing what's his face, Spider-Man. Tony Stark's not getting voiced by RDJ. Captain Marvel isn't getting voiced by Brie Larson, so they could technically bring her back. Like, she's not really the character. Like the Hulk, like they switched the Hulk. They switched Rhodey's. Like,
yeah, that's true.
And they can do that, and like,
do that.
and it'll be even easier in the animated world because like you don't have to change appearance. You only have to change and like okay, Robert Downey Jr. like obviously like the Tony Stark in the What If show is based off of his looks. Like it's obviously based off his looks, but they're not saying it's Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Like that's who it's based off of. Like they can make it look like anything. Like that's what we think. That's what we think that Tony Stark looks like now in all of our heads. Like for example, even the game, the Avengers game, we literally talked about this the other day. It feels like they base these characters just like rip off versions of the MCU version. That's basically what What If is gonna be. I feel like, but yeah. Honestly. Like, what if I'm really excited, but I wonder how they're gonna do the multiple seasons thing. Like, even with Loki, I'm still confused on how they're gonna do the multiple seasons thing. Like, what other story is there to tell that can keep the universe moving forward, you know? Because like you can't always leave it on just like a random cliffhanger. Like, I think it works for Loki season 1 because everything built up to Kang's a big bad, but like how many times can they really do that? But you know, every time I doubt Marvel, they just come back even better. So how do you think What If will like I guess impact the bigger picture in the MCU, not just like Multiverse of Madness, but like, do you think we'll see a lot more of them in live action? Do you think we'll mostly see them in animation? Like, what do you think of that, I guess?
Man, I think that What If is in a really good spot. Like with like at least one What If from this season, some episodes are going to connect, and other episodes are going to just kind of be their own little small stories. So I think if they keep that going, I think that this show could go on for a pretty long time. Like with What If, you can just literally tell any story you kind of want. And I think that could really kind of go pretty far. And I think with some of them kind of connecting, I think that kind of keeps the viewers intrigued. But also you can tell like your more fun side stories. So I think that the show, story-wise, I think it could have a pretty big impact on the MCU, at least this season, since it's setting up that foundation with the Guardians and things like that. So I think that, I think it's going to have a pretty big impact, at least this season 1. I don't know about future seasons, how much they're going to affect the main kind of MCU, but I guess we'll have to see. I'm excited though.
Do you know about like the Watcher stuff? Because I don't know too much about him. Like, do you know much about like his whole thing? Like, because I don't know anything about him at all.
A little bit. I mean, all I know is like he's kind of like the main kind of like watcher of the universe, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of like I guess like MCU's kind of like version like a god, basically. I think in a sense, yeah, kind of like just watches stuff. Doesn't like really interfere in nothing, but
like the thing is, yeah, they're like marketing the crap out of him though. Like that's why I'm confused because like I feel like he can have a big impact. Like he is the Watcher. Like you can't really kill him, you know. Like he watches, bro. He's like the TVA, but in one person. Let's be honest. Like that's kind of what he's sounding like right now. Like he just watches over time.
I think he died before in the comics. I think someone brought that up or something. I don't know how he got killed.
Oh dang. Okay, well, I mean, nonetheless, I'm excited for What If, bro. Like I think What If can potentially, honestly, be the best Marvel Disney Plus show. I'll be honest. Like there's because also like they're not limited to like the live action stuff. Like animation, you can do so much more. We saw that with Invincible. Like they went to like space and all that kind of stuff. Like the boys, like all that stuff. Like they can do that. Like if the story permits, but like budget wise, it would be much more difficult, honestly. So, but yeah, nevertheless, I'm pretty excited. But yeah, moving on. Unless you have anything else to say about What If?
I think that's about it. I'm just excited, ready. August 11th, it's right around the corner. So
yeah, man, I'm super hyped. But like honestly, now we're gonna move on to talking about Pixar movies. I wanted to do this for a long time, but we're gonna be talking about a Pixar movie tier list. Let me pull it up really quick. All right, so can you see it, Bradley?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So yeah, guys, this is our Pixar tier list. But yeah, today we're going to be tier listing all the Pixar movies. Honestly, this is pretty difficult. I think it'll be difficult for both of us because we haven't really talked about Pixar movies really. Like we haven't really talked about like our opinion on both of them, on all the movies. So we'll start off. We can just go from, honestly, we can start. You want to start from the very top list with Up or with the bottom with Luca?
We can start with Luca.
Okay, so we'll start off with Luca. What do you think, Brantley? Where do you think it goes?
I love Luca. It's a good small scale story. I think it's B tier though. Like I think it's good. I wouldn't say it's like amazing.
I would agree, but I think it could be A potentially.
Yeah,
like maybe on a second rewatch it could be an A. But yeah. Next up is Soul. Oh, this one's tough, man. The thing is, I love this movie, but like once they switch bodies, the movie kind of gets a little lame and like too childish. Like, dude, it's so heavy when it comes to story at first, but then like once they switch bodies, it becomes like more of a children's movie, which makes sense. Obviously, it's a kids movie. Let's be honest, but I don't know. As a viewer, I think the once they switch bodies, I think that's what puts it at a B for me personally.
I was thinking A tier, honestly. Like, I don't know. In my opinion, Soul is definitely like Pixar, at least from what I've seen, their most mature film, I would say, so far. And I like a lot of themes stuff they was hitting on. And I think the animation was just like beautiful. I don't know. I mean, I was like an A tier, but I do agree.
Honestly, I think we can go A tier. I think we can go A tier, like a low A tier. That's what I'm trying to do. Like a low A tier. I think that works. Toy Story 4, we're not going to rank this one because Briley and I actually haven't seen it yet. So we're just going to skip past that one. Have you seen Onward?
I haven't seen Onward either. So you rank this
one. Oh, yeah. So Onward, in my opinion, is an A tier. I think it's a high A tier personally. I think it's one of the most underrated Pixar movies because at first I didn't really like it. I thought it was like a basic, like classic, like just like go on a treasure hunt story. But as time went on, I've seen this movie twice. I saw it once in theaters, once at home. I'm truly in love with this movie. I think that it's super underrated. If you haven't already checked it out, I would really recommend doing so. But moving on to Brave, man, bro, what do you think of this one, bro?
Brave is probably C tier. Yeah, that movie.
We're going low C tier, right? Low.
Yeah, I say low C tier.
Yeah,
like, that movie is just so boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm not the biggest fan. All right, all right, okay. Toy Story 3. I'm gonna be real, bro. I think this is an S tier.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
honestly, okay, we're Toy Story 2. I think this is an S tier as well. I'm gonna be real.
We're looking the whole first trilogy.
Yeah, the whole trilogy. Where's the first one? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that there too. I'm gonna be honest, bro. The Toy Story movies are undefeated, other than 4, from what I've heard. I heard 4 was like good, but it just wasn't necessary. So people have it like A or B tier. But yeah, I definitely want to check that one out. We can talk about it on the podcast if we eventually do watch it. But yeah, next up is Coco. I'm gonna go honestly. Okay, I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm gonna be 100%. I think it's an S tier, bro. Okay, I thought you were gonna say A because I was like, I can respect an A, but Coco is legendary. I'm not gonna lie. Inside Out, we gotta go. I gotta go S. Come on.
I was thinking A, but
okay. That's fair. That's fair. I'll take that one. I'll take it. Okay. Monsters, Inc. I'm going to be honest, bro. I haven't seen this movie in a hot minute. I think it's been like over like 5 years since I've seen this one. I honestly, what do you think? Because I'm thinking A.
Yeah, I'm thinking A as well. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Just like a safe bet since we haven't seen it in a while. Okay, this one. Okay, I think this one might get a little bit torn. Okay, bro. WALL-E is my favorite Pixar movie. I'll be honest. It's like my top 3 maybe, but like it's my favorite by far. I don't think it might not be the best, but it's my favorite. For me, it's S tier. What about you? Because I know this is one of the most polarizing Pixar movies.
Really polarizing? I like everybody love. I mean, I love WALL-E. Like,
okay. Oh my god.
WALL-E is a
Okay. All right. Incredibles 2. I think this is one of the best superhero movie sequels. I think it's a top superhero movie sequel, bro. I'll be real. I really love this one. What did you think of it?
I liked it, but I wouldn't say I loved it, bro. Honestly, I was thinking B, honestly. Like,
B?
I don't know, A or B. Low A tier and possibly B tier. Like,
we'll go low A tier.
Like, it was good, but I don't know. Like,
okay. Bugs Life. I'm gonna be real, bro. I haven't seen this in over 10 years.
Same. But from what I remember, I liked it like as a kid. I had it like on VHS and stuff.
Yeah, I had it on VHS. I would say I don't know how to put it B though, like because I haven't seen it in a minute.
Yeah, it's hard.
But I also know it's okay, bro. I'll be real, bro. We should move Brave down to a D.
Low key.
Let's just do that, and we can put Bugs Life at C. I think that's fair. All right, what is this? This is Cars 3, I think. Yeah, that's
Actually,
Cars 3.
I don't think I've seen Cars 3. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a D. Actually, I'll put it I don't know. I'm gonna put it at a C. I think that's valid. It's more of a like Lightning McQueen can't race anymore, so there's like a prodigy character, I guess, and he trains her. So that was a cool idea. But yeah, Cars 1. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think Cars 1 is an S tier.
S tier.
I think it's a low S tier. I think it's a low S tier.
I'm not like every time like I rewatch Cars, I kind of like low-key like liked it like less and less. Honestly, I'm gonna throw like honestly, I'm thinking B, bro. Honestly.
Okay. Let's go A for like. Let's go A to like get in the middle, bro. Because like,
All right,
bro, what? Cars
Alright,
at B? Okay. Okay. The Good Dinosaur. I think I haven't seen this one. I don't know.
I didn't like. I remember when I first watched it. I just like I thought it was pretty just boring and slow.
Where would you put it?
I put C because I think I like the animation style more than Brave and like
Yeah. Okay, Ratatouille. I think this is an S tier.
S tier.
Really think this, yeah. Yeah, it's Ratatouille. Bro, come on. Incredibles. I think this is one of the best superhero movies of all time. S tier. Okay, this one might be a little polarizing. We haven't talked about this one, bro. Cars 2. Now, there's a lot of people that don't like this movie because it like people say they sidelined Lightning McQueen, which I do agree with. I think they sidelined Lightning McQueen way too much because I think Lightning McQueen should be a main character, and this one Mater's a main character. So I think that's the biggest issue, and that's a massive issue. But I still think it's better than Cars 3. So I think B tier would be fair.
Bro,
what do you
people
think?
hate on Cars too, bro. Like I love like the espionage, like James Bond storyline stuff.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it was about Mater, but like the movie, maybe it's just the nostalgia talking about. Yeah, I think like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think like Cars franchise wise, it's not good at all. Like I think Cars franchise wise 3 is better, but like story wise, I enjoyed like 2 way more. I'll be honest. Finding Nemo, I think this is an S tier.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then honestly, Finding Dory for me is an S tier as well.
Ooh.
I would accept an A tier. That is the thing, though. I would accept an A tier. Oh god. Oh god.
I'll say A tier, I guess. Yeah, we can be in there. I was gonna be honestly, but we can be an A tier. Finding Dory,
Bro, Finding Dory is
like I don't know.
I think it was more childish than the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one really had themes of like parenthood and like learning to let your child go and stuff like that. And Finding Dory didn't really have that. It only had the nostalgia of the characters. And on top of that, like the whole mission of like finding my parents and stuff like that. Like that was cool. But yeah. Next up, I think this one is on the same. I think this one's better than Monsters Inc., bro. Monsters University, bro. I think this is an S tier, bro. I love this movie. I've seen it way too many times. I love this movie so much.
This one might be the hottest take, bro, because I know a lot of people don't like this movie, bro. I don't understand why. Like
exactly.
I would love S tier, bro. Like
yes. Oh yes.
I've seen it like 5 times, bro.
Yes. Bro, I saw this like twice in theaters, and I watch it on Disney Plus at least once every year since it's like every day, like every year for the last 3 years, I've seen it at least once a year. I love this movie so much. And then Up, here's the thing. I'll be real, bro. I think I have a hot take on this one. I think you like it. I'm not sure, but I think you like it. But the thing is, bro, like the first, I cry every time in the beginning of this movie. I'll be real. I cry every single time. But I think that part of the movie carries so much emotional weight throughout the entirety of it that we overlook the story just because the beginning is so heartbreaking and heartfelt. So for that, I think it's a high B tier or maybe a low A tier.
Yeah, I was thinking A tier, but I do think Up is low key like kind of overrated. But I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just like the beginning part. Like I just think it's how much emotional weight it carries.
That's all people talk about when they like mention the movie. Honestly, I never heard anyone to talk about any other aspect of outside of that. Next up, as of just about a little off 1 hour away from 1 hour removed from the release of the most recent Venom trailer for Venom 2: Let There Be Carnage. So of course, the movie is one of our most anticipated superhero movies of the year so far. Comes up September, not too far away. So what were your thoughts on this second trailer?
Man, I loved it, bro. I'll be real, man. I really truly love this one. I think this movie is going to be massively underrated when it comes to hype. I think Carnage's design is just chef's
Oh,
kiss, man. Dude, it's so beautiful. Because I think at first I was honestly like, bro, I think Sony's the only people that could screw up a Carnage design, bro. Like they kind of, I think they did pretty good with Venom. I would say they mastered the Venom design. But overall, I will say the only part that I didn't like of this trailer was like you mentioned this before, but I definitely think that the way they portrayed Woody Harrelson's what's the character's name? Not Carnage, but the
Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy. Yeah, I think the way they portrayed his character, I think they're misportraying him because I think that I see the really like insanity elements of him here, but I feel like they didn't portray it enough. I think they portrayed him more in terms of telling the story, which is what this trailer was meant to be. Like I feel like this trailer we had a lot of the story told to us, which I like, and that kind of makes his character less like unpredictable, like you texted me about. Like if it just feels like he's playing into the story, it doesn't feel like there's like this unpredictable element with Cletus Cassidy. But yeah, overall, those are like my basic thoughts. Like what did you think of like the trailer overall too, Bradley?
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was talking about. Like, obviously, I know that there's like a lot of ways you're gonna portray like a psychopath, like realistic something like that. Like psychopaths, like in real life, come in with like told like a variety of different forms and stuff like that. But I don't know. For me, from my understanding, like, this guy seemed like just kind of this unpredictable, just insane kind of guy. Where like in the trailer, he came off with kind of more like methodical and like I don't know. It just I get like that crazy like serial killer, which is like I think what he was in jail for, like that kind of energy. But I mean, I'm still excited. The scene, the prison escape scene looked insane. Like the brutality in the, and especially if this isn't going to be R, it's like it's really pushing the boundaries for what they can do regarding like violence and things like that. So I think this movie's going all in. And I definitely still, I mean, Carnage design, as you said, looks amazing. Like I love how the symbiote looks. And I think that I'm pretty excited. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the first Venom film. I think it could have been much better, but it has some good elements, and I think this movie will kind of enhance and build upon those elements from the first movie.
Bro, I'll be real, bro. You're a Venom hater, bro. Like you just like the thing is, I will admit the movie Loki sucks. Okay, like the movie itself is not good at all. But I will also admit that the movie is so much fun. I think it's arguably the most fun Spider-Man franchise movie out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I think action wise, I think the biggest thing that hurts the first one is the pacing. Like the pacing's god awful, terrible, makes you want to die. But like overall, the movie's so much fun. Like in the theater, I was like rooting like just for the action to keep going. I was like, yes, yes, yes. It was so much fun. And I think this movie will really, really portray that because from what we've seen, this trailer has a good balance of comedy and action like seriousness because like I think that was the biggest issue with the first one was they didn't balance it good enough. And obviously this is just a trailer, so we can't necessarily say like, oh, the movie's gonna be exactly like this because it's edited down. Like that's obviously like we're not gonna like put that besides the fact, but like still, I think this like especially compared to the first Venom trailer, which I watched literally this morning before this new trailer, the first movie is like that trailer really portrayed a lot more of the serious side, and the movie ended up being super comical.
Exactly.
But I think this one's starting to prove though, like it has a good balance of both, which I'm really liking. And so they're letting that comedic side like come in a little bit. Like for example, like in the beginning of that church scene where he's like, "Oh, I'll let you come out. Like I'll let you eat whatever people you want." And he's like, "I promise." But yeah, overall, I think that this movie like I think this movie has a lot of potential, especially when it comes to the action side of things, because it could honestly be very action heavy, but also balance out other thoughts. Quickly, we do have to move on. Bradley, do you have any final thoughts on the Venom trailer?
No, I'm kind of as you said, like with we're on the first film, they kind of did kind of bait us for like with the marketing and trailers, like
Yeah,
kind of like a horror kind of ish, like horror elements and like that. When the movie really wasn't like that at all. So even though I'm not a really big fan of the comedic approach, I'm kind of happy that they are kind of just showing that off and at least kind of going all in instead of kind of like trying to show that it's like something that it's not going to be. So I do kind of have I'm kind of happy that they're just embracing that aspect and they're continuing that from the first film instead of kind of just baiting us again. So I'm pretty excited. I think that this movie has a lot of potential to be better than the first. I mean, I think already gone off. These trailers already got me like more hyped than like
yeah.
the first film. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Also, one thing we didn't mention was the tongue kill. I don't want to talk about it too much, but that was absolutely insane. This was going to be crazy. But moving on, we're going to start a new segment on the podcast called Underrated Movie of the Week. We're not going to do it every single week, but every time we have some underrated movie that we've both seen before. One of the next ones will probably be Looper if I end up watching it and really loving it. I'm planning on watching it later today, but where the movie of this week, the underrated movie of this week, is actually The Killing of a Sacred Deer. This is an A24 movie that came out about 2 to 3 years ago, and it's on Netflix right now. So if you want to go check it out, I'd really recommend doing so. We're just going to give our overall quick thoughts about it. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but Billy, what did you think of this movie overall? I know personally my favorite thing is the tone, which I'll mention later, but what did you think?
Watching this movie for the first time was an insane ride. I kind of just went to a blind, honestly. I didn't even I read this little Netflix synopsis. I'm like, okay, let's just get into it. And it was an insane ride, honestly. There's a lot of things that the director does that kind of is off-putting for us. The dialogue super robotic and this is just so weird. But after you keep watching, you kind of get used to it a bit more. And those elements all kind of come together, in my opinion, pretty well. And even though to this day I still don't have a rating for this movie, I don't know what to rate this movie. It's just insane. But I would say this is definitely one of my favorite, watching experiences. It just felt like a totally new experience when you're watching this movie. And I think everyone should probably give it a shot. It is kind of extreme. So, I don't know if it's for everybody, but I would definitely say just give it a try. Because I think you definitely it definitely isn't boring by any means. You'll be entertained watching the movie. So. I
don't think it's for everyone when it comes to the themes of the movie. I think visually it's awesome. Pacing, it's awesome. There's no it's never it's not it's a for the example the Green Knight, A24's newest movie. I think the pacing is something that really dictates enjoyment for that one because it's very, very slow. It's a very, very slow burn. But the Killing of a Sacred Deer, this movie's pacing is so well done, and the information they give you, the little hints of information, the chunks of information, it's so well done. And just the ending truly blew my mind. I'm gonna be honest, and just how extreme they go. It just gets me every time. We'll probably do an A24 tier list next episode. Honestly, I'm down to do that because there's a lot of A24 movies we gotta still talk about. But The Killing of a Sacred Deer to me is a top 5 A24 movie. Top 3, maybe. I don't know. I didn't look at the list, but The Killing of a Sacred Deer, I think the reason it's so underrated is because it's so extreme. I think Midsommar is another movie. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember much of the movie. I haven't seen it since release, but from what I remember, it's just I think the themes of A24 movies are sometimes so extreme that many general audiences can't really watch it. And not to say they can't, I'm not saying they can't in terms of they won't understand it. I'm just saying it doesn't appeal to everyone at all. These movies are you have to be basically clinically insane to enjoy these movies. I'm gonna be honest. They're weird as the ending of this movie, it just when it happens, it happens. You guys will know. It's crazy. It's insane, man. Yeah. But overall, I would say I do have a rating for this movie. It is a fairly extreme rating. I think people will be like, oh, how do you even understand this? I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's perfect in every single manner. That's my statement. I don't have any bad about it, honestly. I'm down to do a full review, bro. We got to rewatch it, though, and get our fresh thoughts on it. But
I don't know if I want to rewatch it.
Why?
I definitely do want to kind of rewatch it, though. There's definitely some things I probably missed. In the movie, like I said, it's a fun ride. So
yeah. I think pacing-wise, the one movie I could really compare it to is Parasite, pacing-wise. I think Parasite is better in almost every single aspect. I think it's perfect, just like this movie, but I think it just edges out on every other aspect. But I think the pacing, if you love Parasite's pacing, I think you'll really love this one just because it's a small, slow burn, but still fast-paced story overall. But yeah, guys, that's it for this episode. I really don't have much else to say. Brilliant, do you have anything you want to say before we cap off the episode?
That's about it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Can't wait to see you guys on the next episode and see what else drops, what other news happens in between that time, and we'll definitely cover it and we'll just talk about it. So I'm definitely excited. Episode 2, this was a fun one.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We're gonna try to do a few more tier lists here and there because that was pretty fun. Trying to get our opinions. So you guys we don't have to individually review movies. We can just talk about them in itself in the tier list. But yeah, again, that's it for this episode 2 of Third Thoughts. I'll see you guys next week. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.